excited about tonight's call because I have grown to love social media. When I started, I did not love social media because I was coming out of a time that was really, really hard in my life. And when you feel a lot of guilt and shame and negative emotions and you don't feel very good about yourself, you don't really post on social. So I had to learn everything from scratch. I had to become a student of social media, and that's kind of the best idea or advice I can give you guys is you have to be a student and open to learning. Social media is a skill. It's not something that we come out of the womb knowing, but I believe that anybody can learn it. Anybody can learn social media and learn to use it in a way that feels really good for you, which is really, really important. Everybody is so different, and what works for you might not work for somebody else, but it's up to you. It's your job now to figure out how you can use social media to share your journey, share your story, connect with other people in a way that feels good to you, okay? We want to use social media to our advantage. We don't want to be used by social media. Most of the public or most of our community is using social media, right? They're being used by it. They're just scrolling. They're trying to absorb information. They're just like using it to kill time. We want to make sure when we're on there that we're using it for a purpose and we're not just consuming. We want to put out content, right? So that's really important. That's something that I think about all the time is, am I using social? Like, am I using this for my business, or am I getting used by it right now? And that just kind of keeps my focus. And I want you guys to know another reason why it's so important is because, and this is something I've learned and I wish I knew in the beginning, is that it's going to be just as important for you to know who is not for you than it is to find out the people who are your tribe, right? And that means not everybody's going to like you. That means that you're not going to mesh with everybody, and that's okay. You want to be yourself fully and authentically. And I'm skipping ahead a little bit as I do, but I just want you guys to know that it's okay if people unfriend you. It's okay if people leave your groups. It's okay if people disagree with you, because there's 4 billion people on the planet. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody likes me. That's okay. I don't like everybody out there. And that's really important because I want you guys to avoid some of the mistakes that I've made in my business. And that's by trying to be something I'm not. And sometimes when you try to be something you're not, then you attract people who aren't like you. And I think, like, raise your hand if you've worked with somebody that you're just like, we're just not a good match, right? We're just not a good match. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out. This girl's driving me crazy. She just doesn't get it or whatever. And that's okay. It's not saying anything bad about the other person, but maybe they need something else. So that's why it's so important to get this social game, you guys, because it is going to be the most effective tool for us to find other people like us. And like, like we were at our Emerald Appreciation last week, and I just look around at, Kirsten and Nicole and Jocelyn and Nina and Jen and Kayla, and I'm just like, wow, like if I wasn't authentically myself, I would never have met these ladies, right? So that's why it's just so important to figure this out, because if we just try to do everything everybody else is doing, then you're never going to get anywhere, and you're not going to find your people. You want to find your people, okay? And social media is an incredible tool to use that. There's over 200 people, 1 million people on Instagram alone. There's billions of people on Facebook. There's enough of us to build incredible tribes of people just like us, but it's our job to figure it out. It's our job to figure out how we want to use it, what feels good to us, so we can get our message out there, okay? So today I'm going to go over kind of like your goal, what your goal should be for social media. I'm going to give you guys kind of like my top tips right now, because it's always changing. It's all like, you got to be flexible with it. It's always changing. I'm going to give you guys a strategy, my strategy for social, what I post at what time and the reason why, to give you guys an idea so you can create your own strategy. I'm going to show you guys how I craft a post and kind of like what I'm thinking when I'm writing it. And then I'm going to give you guys some action items to take action right away, okay? If you guys have any questions at any time, please put them in the chat and I'll be sure to address them, okay? So the goal, let's talk about the goal of social. Your goal for social isn't to sell challenge packs. Your goal for social isn't to have people join your team, okay? Your goal, your primary goal is to get people to know you, to like you, and then to trust you. Know, like, and trust, okay? That's your goal. And the only way you can get people to know you and like you and trust you is be authentically you, 150%. When people know you and like you and then trust you, you never have to sell anything a day in your life, okay? They're going to trust you. And that's why it's so important. And I talk about authenticity all the time. You have to just be yourself. So just be yourself. And what I do is I think of social media kind of like my diary. And I'm 3.5 years in, you guys, now. So you have to know that I've been working at this hard because I know the importance of it every single day. So I don't want you guys to look at, maybe my post 3.5 years into it and be like, how am I supposed to start there? I did not start there. If you want a good laugh, like go back to July 2014 and you'll have a really good laugh. But I knew I wasn't really worried about being perfect, and I knew that it was a skill, and the only way you get good at a skill, you guys, is doing it over and over and over. And the good thing about social media is that people are using it like this. Okay, so we put something else and we think like the world stops to look at it, you guys. Like it's sometimes it's a miracle if they even see it. So I don't want you guys to worry about what everybody's thinking. No one cares about you as much as we think people do. It's just the truth. It's nothing against you, but maybe you can think about something somebody posted today, maybe where they showed vulnerability. Like, how much have you thought about it? You probably can't even think of something because we have so much, we're consuming so much information. You're not thinking about, oh, that was weird, or, oh, who does she think she is? Like, no, we're worried about our own crap. We're not worried about other people's crap. So it takes time. It takes a lot of personal development, and it takes a lot of courage. But if you work at it every single day, you're going to get to a point like I'm at today. And we have amazing examples of our team, women who just kind of use it as their diary to put out their message authentically. And I think to myself, if there wasn't a like button or a comment button, or if no one was even reading this, what would I want to put out into the universe? What do I want my message to be? What do I want to represent? And that's what social media is. It's kind of like our own personal diaries. It's our business card, you guys. Like, what do you want to represent? And that's why it's important to be intentional about it and know it's a skill and learn it and fall in love with it. And now it's honestly one of the funnest part of my job. When I get to do a workout and talk about how I'm feeling, my journey, what I'm learning, put things out there, that feels really good to me now. But it's a skill. It takes time. So just know that you're perfect where you're at. You just got to start, and you're going to learn along the way. Okay. I'm going to give you guys some top tips really quickly about kind of what I see that I think people should be working on, just really simple things. Okay. So right now on social media, you guys, quality over quantity. Okay. You want to put out quality posts. I'd rather you put out 2 really good posts per day than throw up 5 just to share something. Okay. Or just be when you put something, you're like, oh my God, I'd have to get something out. What do I do? I'm just going to share this. Just don't do that, because no one's going to see it anyway. Right. We want to put out quality posts. Okay. So I would rather you post, for me, mine's always been the same. 3 times a day, I think is great. Sometimes now, if it depends how inspired I'm feeling or authentic I'm feeling. Or inspired. Sometimes that's 1 really great post a day. Sometimes that's 5, but if you're still finding your feet on social, you guys, 3 times a day is great. And I'm going to show you guys what to post at what time later. So don't be too hung up about oh my God, how am I going to come up with 3 times? I'm going to really simplify it for you guys. Okay. So quality over quantity. Tip number 2, you are not Beachbody, okay? You're not a Beachbody robot. You do not work for corporate Beachbody, do you? I don't know. You don't. So you don't have to have a blue cover photo and be oh my God, what would Carl say? You are you, right? Your goal is to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. That has nothing to do with Beachbody. I would rather you just remove Beachbody right from it and just be yourself. And make your own brand, because people don't care about the what. The what is the challenge packs. The what is the coaching opportunity. People do not care about that. People do not join companies. They join people, okay? If you guys want to put that somewhere, people do not join companies. People do not join products. They join people. They want to like you and they want to trust you. That's your goal, okay? In terms of images, clear, bright images, you guys, okay? So not a lot of text on your images, no borders, okay? No graphics, none of that. Just clear, bright images of you, okay? Yeah, and maybe like sometimes like just clean up behind the background in your house. You know, if you're gonna take pictures, if you're gonna have 1 or 2 quality posts a day, maybe 3 quality posts a day, you guys, just clean up behind your house, you know, like put the dishes away, make sure it's a nice frame, just be intentional about it, okay? Because again, people are scrolling, and if you want them to stop their scroll, your image has to kind of stand out. And the best way to do that is just get into natural lighting, put you that pretty smile that I know you guys all have, and just kind of just be intentional about the background. That's my tip for you. I've said this before, but I think it's really important to use one filter for a consistent look, right? Not all the time, but I think that's a really great start for people, especially if you're just starting. There's amazing social media apps. Like I love Facetune is a great one. I love the Facetune pastel filter. That's the one I use. There's another great app for filters. It's called VSCO. There's like a million. You can kind of play around with it. And that's where you get to have fun and be creative. Whatever app it is, I don't really care. It's just like, I think it's important to have a consistent look with your social and do the best you can with that, okay? Next tip, you guys, I want you guys to be excited, okay? Create curiosity. If you're not excited about your challenge groups, if you're not excited about what you're doing, if you're not excited about your upcoming sneak peek, no one else is going to be either. So you have to be excited. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect. There's groups, to be honest, in these 3.5 years where I'm like, 21 days, you know, like there's times where I haven't really felt that excitement sometimes, and that's because I'm a human. But those are the months that I'm not really bringing, I'm not like, because our energy is attracted, right? Even through social. So it's really important to like get excited about something. And again, that's your job as a coach, is to use this opportunity and use it to find joy and happiness in your job. That's up to you, right? If you've been doing the same thing now for a year and you're like, I'm not excited about that, then that's up to you to switch it up. That's up to you to make it new and get excited again. Find something to get excited about, because if you're not excited, no one's gonna be excited either, okay? So be excited and create curiosity, okay? You don't want to just like lay it all out there. You want people to ask questions. So that's why I very rarely, like I want people to message me. I want people to ask me questions, because that's how you start a conversation and build a relationship. So that's why in my posts, I don't say exactly what's included. On my internet is, please, don't do it today. I'm gonna roll. Do not do this today. Let me know if I'm freezing or anything in the comments, okay? So yeah, that's why and you see, and this is just something I've learned, is that I don't put everything out there. I want people to ask questions. I want people to ask about my pre-workout. I want people to ask me what workout I'm doing. So like you can kind of be vague and create curiosity because that gets people interested, okay? And then my last tip for you guys quickly is you have to be intentional with growing it. I should have probably maybe said this first, okay? 3 to 5 people a day. You have to be consistently growing your network. It's like fishing from a pool that never grows, and then a year later, you're like, why can't I find any people? It's because you're always fishing from the same pool. Every single day, you have to be intentional about going out there and finding new people. And we've done lots of calls. I did an inviting call just a few weeks ago on how to find new people. That is so key. That is so important, you guys. Be very intentional. Whatever social media platform you're using, if it's Instagram, if it's YouTube, if it's Facebook, I don't care. Just grow it every day. And it doesn't have to be by a lot every day, but you have to be intentional about it, okay? Do you guys have any questions about that quickly? I need to drink some of my recharge here. Does that make sense? Good. Let's talk about strategy, you guys. So once you've been doing this for a while, you're going to find kind of like what works for you and what feels good to you and how you're going to incorporate that all, like what you want to represent and how you get people to like you with your business. And I'm going to share with you guys kind of like just a very general strategy that I like to use, and you can interchange it with what you want to represent, but I just want to give you an example. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I really hope I'm recording this. I'm sure I am. Strategy, where are you? Oh, here we go. Cool, can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? Thumbs up? Okay, cool. So this is kind of my social media strategy, and I like to keep things as simple as possible. And it doesn't really, I want you guys to know, it doesn't really matter what your strategy is. What matters most is that you are consistent on social. Would you want a coach who like disappears for 2 months? No. Would you want to join a team where somebody disappears for a month? Like, no. Like you have to be consistent. It's so important. So this is my social media strategy, you guys. I post before 9 a.m. I usually post around noon, and then I post after 8:30. That's my prime posting times. So Monday through Friday, or Monday through Sunday, my first post is usually something to do with my workout or my personal development, okay? It's kind of like a check-in, but I don't just like to do, because I'm looking for quality, I'm not just like sharing like sweaty selfie, like it has to be more than that now, because you have to separate yourself from everybody else. You have to. It's very, very important. You have to be unique, you have to get creative, and you have to separate yourself. So my workout and my personal development, I usually share the why I'm working out, where I'm at in my life and how it's helping me, what I'm learning, or a piece of my journey alongside with that. Instead of like the what, like hashtag 21 day fix, like cardio fix, no one knows what that is. And like, they don't care about the what again, right? Because people don't join products, they join people. So if I want to establish know, like, and trust, if I want people to get to know me, I need to tell them what I'm doing. I need to tell them why I'm doing it, and I need to tell them how it's helping me. I need to tell them where I'm at in my journey, what I'm learning. So that's what I'm sharing, is the why, okay? That's what I do every morning. And then around noon, what you can do is you can pick one of the other 5 things that represent you, right? And we're gonna do this at the end. I'm gonna have you guys write them down. And these are the other things that I post about, right? Because we're not, again, we don't work for corporate Beachbody. We're not just fitness people. There's other things in our life that make us different from everybody else. And it's important to know like what you want to represent. What do you want to be known for? What are the other things about you that are going to separate you from everybody else? So this is when I post about like our crazy kids or motherhood, or, you know, like what I'm learning in that crazy journey. I talk about adoption stuff. I talk about foster stuff. I talk about like my plant-based journey. I talk about our debt-free journey. I talk about like friendship is really important for me, and like my brand, I guess you can call it. Like that's what I want to be known for, is like the incredible women that I surround myself with. So I talk about you guys a lot, and my other friends in my life, and how you guys are helping me. Personal growth is a big part of what I want to represent. I just want to be growing always. So I kind of talk about what I'm learning in life, and lifestyle stuff, right? How I balance this crazy coaching journey with my regular life, and how I make it work, how I fit it in, why it's important to me, those kind of things. So there's always something to post about. You just have to be intentional. Like I know a lot of you guys work full time or even part time. I would love to hear more about that. I would love to hear more about your vision, about why you're doing this side thing and where you want to go with it, and what you envision for your family and how you're fitting it in. I want to know more about, like, I would love to know more about your other jobs too, you know, like all the other things that make you different. So that's what I do around noon. And then after 8:30 is kind of like prime posting time. You're going to post any time of the day, like before 9 and after 8:30 for sure. So this is kind of generally what I do, you guys. Like yesterday I did, like, you don't have to do like hashtag Man Crush Monday, but Mondays I always do something about me and Dustin, just because obviously my marriage is a big part of my life. I talk about like what I'm learning about that, and I talk about like our journey together. And you know, you can see my post last night for something really simple about what my husband is teaching me too. Tuesdays is a really great time. You can do Transformation Tuesday with an invite, is great. After 8:30 p.m., it's a great time to share about your transformation, and a great time to, and I'll talk about how to create that post, okay? It's a great time to share, you know, it's a great opportunity to share transformation from your challenge groups too. So that's Tuesdays. That's a simple one to do. Wednesday, you know, you could do like a Women Crush Wednesday with an invite. So you could talk about like anything. Again, you could do, again, a transformation from somebody in your challenge group. You could do just like a shout out to somebody on your team. You could do anything, any kind of like shout out. And then, you know, to tag an invite along with that too is a great thing to do on Wednesdays. Thursdays is Throwback Thursday is amazing. You can throw back to anything and share a piece of your past, right? You could throw back to Summit. You could throw back to anything. You could throw back to anything, okay? So that's something you could do on Thursday nights. Friday, like the weekend, I kind of like to keep it light because not a lot of people, like people are busy with their own lives. They're not like sitting at work on social or at home. They're off doing things. So Thursdays or Fridays, I usually do something light. Like maybe if we're going out, I'll do like a fashion post, like what I wore type thing and how I'm feeling. But that's when I like to do that. Just something really simple. Saturdays, I talked a lot. Again, I like to keep it light. Family stuff, fun stuff. What are you doing that weekend? Yeah, just like, you know, how can people get to know you through that and just like keep it really light. Sundays, again, you guys, I'm talking about after 8:30 p.m. Okay, so on the weekends too, in the morning, you could still do your workout check-in. Around noon, you could still share something about, you know, what differentiates you from everybody else. And then I'm talking about after 8:30, like the prime posting time. Sundays after 8:30, if like you have to take advantage of that time. Okay, Sundays after 8:30 is when everybody's on social media. So if you're gonna do an invite that week, do it Sunday at after 8:30. That's prime time. If you want to share your transformation or your journey, or if you're at any time you're like, I have an amazing post idea, do it on Sunday after 8:30. That's prime posting time, okay? You guys can screenshot it if you want this. I can post it in the Fit Lounge. Do you guys have any questions about this? I thought I saw something. Is there something in the comments? I just can't see it right now. Oh, here we go. More chat. Okay. All right. So that's my social media strategy. Again, you guys, it doesn't have to be the exact same of mine. This is just to give you an idea. This is something, again, it's not like super detailed. I like to keep things simple. Now I'm at a point where it's just like I have a good flow in my mind. And it's not like you can't move it around. My advice to you is that if you're feeling something from your heart and you kind of get like, oh, I really want to post about this, just do it. If it's at 2 o'clock or if it's at, you know, you don't have to wait. Just get it out there. Done is better than perfect. Okay. And again, tomorrow it's like, do you even remember what you posted yesterday? I don't. Like it's on to the next. So again, it's not like again, it's done is better than perfect. Just get something out there. Find your flow and see what works for you. Try it out. And if you're not getting any traction like with that, try something else. But again, you guys know the goal is to establish know, like, and trust with people, okay? And that takes time. It doesn't happen in 3 weeks. It doesn't happen in the month. A lot of people who, and you probably have heard this too, who have been following me say they've been following me even before they reach out for at least a year on average, a year or 2 years sometimes. So just know that you have to be very consistent and it takes time. But that's why it's important to like know your message and have fun with it. And just like, you know, it's not like you post something and you're like waiting for like the reaction. It's just like, wow, I'm really happy with what I put out there and that feels good to me. If people, you know, love it or not love it, it's okay. I'm good with it. And I think that's truly the goal. So I hope that helps you guys. Now I want to talk to you guys about how I craft my posts, okay? Done is better than perfect. You got it, girl. All right, so now while I have this open, I'm just gonna X out of this. I'm gonna go to how to craft. It's a really simple strategy of, how do I get rid of this? Go. Put you down here. Okay. This is kind of like how I craft a post, okay? When I'm talking about a quality post, I want to like hit people in the feelings somehow. I want to like relate to them. I don't just like want to throw it up. I want them to get to know me. I want to be vulnerable with them, okay? Vulnerability is the fastest, easy way to connection. So I want to have courage and be vulnerable. So when I'm crafting a post, it always starts with where I was before. How was I stuck? You know, what I was struggling with, how I was feeling at the time, and why it was important for me to change, okay? So a tip for this, you guys, is I generally like to use words that women tell me now that they're struggling with. They're tired, they're depressed, they don't feel sexy for their husband, or they're broke, or, you know, they're overwhelmed. Like, I like to use those exact words that they're using when they're telling me now what they're struggling with, okay? I felt bloated, like whatever it is, just like use the words. And then 2, or I'm just gonna skip to 3, okay? And then the end of the post is like where I am now and what I'm learning and where I'm going and why I'm excited and how I'm feeling now. I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling excited, I'm feeling, you know, grateful, like all like the positive emotions. And then in between that, you guys, like it's kind of like where you were, where you are now, and then the middle part is like the little boat of how you got there, and that's Beachbody. That's where Beachbody comes in, okay? Beachbody is kind of like the boat that got you from point A to point B. And you don't have to say like, then I signed up for Beachbody and I changed my life. Like, no, like that like the boat could be, you know, I invested in my own health. I invested in personal growth. I surrounded myself with community. You know, like those are the things that people care about. Again, they don't care about the what, they care about the why and the how. Okay. So, so that's like, those are the pieces from Beachbody that you can pull of how you got from point A to point B. Does that make sense? This is typically, all my posts are like this, you guys. And I'm gonna give you guys some examples. And I use this for many things that I post about, right? Not just like my fitness. I talk about our debt-free journey using kind of like the same strategy. I talk about coaching using the same strategy. You can talk about anything. People talk about their marriage using the same strategy, whatever it is. You could, like whatever you were struggling with before. So I'm gonna give you guys some specific examples just so you can take a look here. Let me just make sure you guys can still see this. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so again, you guys, like I didn't scroll very far back. If you guys want to like scroll my social, or if you guys ever see a post, you're like, I love the way she worded that, or I love the way she used it. Always what's mine is yours. Of course, you're going to put your own journey or your own story there. So again, like when I'm showing posts now, just remember, you guys, this is 3.5 years in of doing it every single day. So of course I've gotten more skilled at it. This is not where I started, okay? Where I like if you want a good laugh, just scroll back to July 2014. They come up in my memories now and I have a good laugh and I was like, wow, I've come a far way. Even a year ago, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that. But again, done is better than perfect. So here's a good example of a transformation. So let's see. Okay, so this is something I posted. Same shorts, different woman. You know, I'm not going to read it word for word, but I'll talk about who I was on the left. I felt depressed, uncomfortable, tired. I ate my emotions. I felt like a victim. I felt like the world was against me. I felt like I had zero control over my life, and I was really foggy, right? I'm talking about how I'm feeling and where I was. And then I talk about today. I jumped out of bed. I was excited. I felt good. My mind is clear. I take care of myself. I'm inspired. I, you know, see life differently in a beautiful light. I know that I'm in control, and I show up every single day to maximize. And then in this case, I just talk about like, I'm not perfect, right? Because we don't want to come across like, you know, we're these like robots who know everything. Like I always say that, like, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, but this is really what works for me. You know, just like, and then I talk about what I've learned. That's very typical too of how I do things, like where I was, where I'm now, and what I'm learning. That's what people care about, because they want to know, they want to like, you're kind of like a character in your own movie, right? And you want to show people how you're growing and changing and evolving, and you're committed to it, okay? So that's like a typical post that I'll use for transformation, and that's what people care about. I had one here with, I did one actually today I could show you guys. I don't know if you guys saw it. show that one, but I want to show what I did today. And you'll see a lot of my posts. I don't come out and say like, and Beachbody changed my life. Like I talk about Beachbody, I talk about coaching, I talk about the community. But again, I know that people don't care what it is. And I want you guys to think about when you signed up. Did you care what it was? No, you just like wanted what the person who I just wanted what Joni had. Like she was so confident. She had like her kids were all happy. She had like a banging body. I'm like, I just want a piece of that. I don't care what it is. And the 21-day fix showed up at my door, but I didn't care about the containers. I didn't care about, all the nutrients in Shakeology. I didn't care. I just wanted it. Okay. Because I knew her. I liked her. I loved her style. I trusted her. And I just wanted to be a part of what she's doing. Okay. So this is a post that I did today. You guys can go back and read it. And I just talk about like where me and Dustin were, like he was in Fort McMurray. I missed him. Like I was really struggling as a mom and where we are today. And again, like this, I think speaks volumes for itself, just showing like the lifestyle that we live now and why we work so hard and where we're going. And these are the things that people relate to, especially, I know some of you are moms, not all of you, but it's very common in our province for husbands to be away. It's really, really challenging and hard. So I talk about those things. And that's again, how I craft a post. This one was one I did about social media. It's kind of long, you guys, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be grandiose. This might not be the best example to show you because it's kind of long, but sometimes they are. That's okay. I talk about, where we used to be. This was a post that I did before we would have to if we wanted to go anywhere, we probably wouldn't be able to because Dustin would be working. I'd be stressed at home with 2 kids. Like we were broke. We'd have to check our air miles. Now I talk about, how we can just drop what we're doing and be there for the people who love us and be able to help our family and be there for them. And I shared that in this post. You guys can go back to my social and check it out if you want. And just like how we feel now and like how rewarding that is. And, and I talk about income and in those ways too, just like being able to, I always try to think of show the lifestyle that we have now and why that means so much to us and what our goals are and what our vision is for our family and why we're working so hard. And so that's another post. This was an invite to coaching. So that's another one. But again, you guys, I'm not going to I don't want to spend all our time just going through my posts. I just wanted to give you guys a quick example. I want you guys to know though, that it's really important. You guys, you don't have to wait until you're I always thought for me, I was like, oh, when I'm making a lot of money, then I can share, or when I'm this. But I'll tell you guys, it's harder now for people to relate to me than it was my first year. My first year when I was making some money and I could afford to pay for some things or maybe just supplement our income enough so Dustin didn't have to work in Fort McMurray. At that point, people could really relate to me. But now people, and I've heard other coaches say this, now it's almost kind of the disconnect might be too, they couldn't picture themselves doing that scale, So I want you guys to know if you're a few months into this business and maybe you're earning enough just to take care of all your health products or go on a date night or buy your groceries or pay for your mortgage. That is huge. And you should be sharing that because women are going to be able to relate to you huge. You don't have to be, at a certain point or a certain level of success for people to relate to. I find that, kind of at every level, the next level, I'm kind of getting further from my person. And now they're it was much easier for me to recruit when I was a girl with a vision and shared where I'm going and why it's important than now being, I don't want to whatever it is, but people now I get a lot more objections because they're I could never do what you do. I could never do it to that scale. I couldn't, it's almost too much, it seems. And that's why I'm learning to just also kind of come back and share the little stuff too. So I hope that helps you guys, but I hope you're sharing those small things now because that is so important and that's what people can relate to. If you're working and you're making a side income, that's huge, right? If you're working and you can pay for your mortgage with Beachbody, or if you can pay for your mortgage at all, whatever it is, those little things, groceries, mortgage, dance lessons for kids, any little thing where you can hit those kind of pain points for women and families, please share that because that you're like in a peak spot for people to relate to you, because they're going to be like, wow, I think I could do that too. Right? I hope that makes sense. Does that help you guys? Do you guys have any questions about that? Awesome. Good. We're good for time too. Okay. So I just want to take 5 minutes and I want you guys to write down 5 things that represent you. I want you guys to think about, like, aside from fitness, 5 things for your social media that you could share with people that make you different, that just make you you, that make you unique. Okay, we'll take 5 minutes and do that. And then there's going to be a post in the Fit Lounge, and I want you guys to post it there. I love how Nicole posted in the Fit Lounge and she's not even on the call. That's amazing. She's awesome. Sorry. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, okay? Okay, I'll just give you guys another minute or two if you want to do your post in the Fit Lounge, please. All right, if you guys just want to finish up and post them quickly in the Fit Lounge, and then we're going to move on to action item number 2. All right, we're going to move on. And before we do that, we have to do something really important. If you guys could, like, do a funny dance or something so I can catch a boomerang for Instagram stories, I'd appreciate it. Okay, ready? 1. Did I freeze? I hope not. I see Tabitha moving, but I don't see anybody else moving. Yeah, everybody else is frozen. Okay, ready? Hang on. Jen is frozen with that cup. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Go. This is gonna be the funniest one. Uh, um, that's gonna be awesome. Okay. All right. Everybody else is frozen. Okay, I hope you guys can. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Um, okay. Action assignment number 2. I want you guys to take 5 minutes. I just want to pick your social media platform of choice because it's so important. Number 1, you guys, you have to be committed every single day at learning. It's going to be your job to learn how to grow your network. And I want you to get out of the scarcity mentality that there's no people out there because there's like literally billions of people on social media. So I want you to take 5 minutes and I want you to send just pick one platform and don't pick the easiest one. Like if you're on Instagram and you find it really easy to find people, I want you to pick your next one and just take 5 minutes and send 5 friend requests. Go to the people you may know tab and send people a message. Whatever you want to do. I just want you guys to take 5 minutes and grow whatever platform you choose to by 5 new people. And I want you to put the screenshot in Fit Lounge, okay? Sorry, I should put it on mute. It's my cackle. And I shouldn't say if you guys want to grow Instagram, that's okay. I just want you guys to go outside your comfort zone for 5 minutes is what I meant, okay?
Hey, Kara, you're muted.
Thank you. So yeah, you guys can finish that up. Post in the Fit Lounge when you're done. My point is that it literally takes 5 minutes a day to grow your network. There are people like you out there who want to connect with you, your people, your tribe, but it's our job to be ourselves on social. It's our job to have courage and be authentic. And it's also our job to go and find them. This is not a luck, like your network is not going to grow by luck. Your business is never going to grow by luck. We have to be very intentional about it. Okay. Every day it takes 5 minutes. The third thing, that third action item that's now posted in the Fit Lounge is, and you guys have some time to do this. I'm not going to ask you to do it today, but I'd love to see it by Friday. And what I want you guys to craft for yourself is kind of like based on my example as well. And I'll post it on that post if you guys want to go back and see it, if you didn't screenshot it, is do kind of like a strategy, kind of like a posting strategy of what you're going to post at what time to give you some kind of template. And then that way you're not waking up and like being like, oh, I don't know what to post it, and like get overwhelmed with it. Just create a simple strategy for yourself and start there. And then over time, you're going to find out what works for you. You're going to find your way. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's action item number 3. And lastly, you guys, I just want to say, like, the best advice I can give you with social is just to be yourself. Be yourself, please. I love you. You guys are all amazing. I want you guys to just be yourself and do you, okay? This is the thing with our business is you see a lot of different people doing a lot of different things. We're all different people, and it can be very distracting. That's why it's very important to use social media for a business and not be used by it, okay? So like for me, honestly, you guys, there's a few coaches that I follow who inspire me, but I don't spend a lot of time like looking at what other people are doing, because I want to do what comes from my heart, because I know that that's going to be authentic to me, and that's what's going to differentiate me from everybody else, because no one else is you, okay? And I remember hearing that in the beginning, and I was like, well, I just want to be like Chelsea Pearson. Like, I just want to do what she's doing because I want to be like it, like it takes time to be like that. And if you go to my early days in social, you'll see that a lot of my stuff is inspired by, even my photos are inspired by, girls I looked up to. And it's always a good place to start. But over time, I just want you guys to develop your own style, because that's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. And I want you guys to do what works for you, okay? If you're listening to this call and you have like a great strategy already, I don't want you to change it. If you're already like, killing your business goals and like doing really great things, like I don't want you to change what you're doing if it's working. If what you're doing is working, don't change it. Just take these tips and tweak it, and always be a student of social media, okay? I don't want you guys to be a year from now and being like, well, it worked for me in 2016, but now it's 2019. Like, you have to, like, times are changing continuously, and we just got to go with the flow and have fun with it. We don't have to be perfect, but we have to be committed to learning. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that helps you guys. Let me know quickly. We have 5 minutes if you guys have any questions or comments or anything. And we are all done. I'll unmute you guys. I gotta take a breath. All right, if you guys have any questions, go ahead.
Number 1, I was a little late. Were you just talking about like things that we can search up on social media?
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna mute the rest because it sounds like there's a party going on at somebody's house. Go ahead, Megan.
Because I was a little late joining. So the assignment number 1, was that just the 5 different things that we should look up on social media to kind of like get us familiar with other people, or?
No, the 5 things, and that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked. And certainly go back and watch the first half of the call, because I think it's going to explain it more. I want you to know 5 things that represent you that are different from everybody else. So like, what do you want to be known for? So for me, I talk a lot about adoption and fostering and, like my plant-based journey. So it's basically just like, it's just to know that we don't, like, now that we're fitness coaches, we don't just want to be posting about fitness. There's other parts of our lives, like maybe it's your engagement or your, like whatever it is. I just want you to pick 5 different things. So we're showing a well-rounded version of who we are, right? And not just the fitness side, the one piece of the pie. Yeah.
Perfect.
You guys have any other questions?
don't think so.
All right. All right, guys, that's everything. I hope that helped you guys. I hope you have a good night. I'm looking forward to seeing what your action item results are. And I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.